between Herschel Walker and...
Herschel Walker was a man.
What's that dude, the picture?
No, who was that one dude? He was arrested for something.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the dark-skinned guy.
Yeah. Hey! We do the baby one. Alright, this is the Bad Guy Has Spoken podcast. And to my left, we got Kayon. In the middle, we got your host, of course, Kenny. We got Brandon, and we got my mom and my dad in the back. Now, this is, I call this one, The Villain is Right. So this podcast is pretty much, what villain, we're just going to pretty much talk about what villain did you agree with the most. We're going to talk about different ones like that. So I'm going to start off like this. House Party 3. I agree with that man. They took that man's money, and he was trying to. What was he trying to use it for a wedding? If I remember correctly, he was trying to. Play was trying to use it for the wedding.
Okay, Showboat.
Yeah, Showboat.
Okay.
Yeah, Showboat. He took Showboat's money.
Took the producer's money.
Yeah, he warned him. He said, "Look, you can." He said, "You can mess with my wife. You can do all this other stuff to me. Just don't steal from me. That's all I care about. Just don't steal from me." And they lied to this man the entire movie. And then they chased. What did they do? He chased him around with the women and the dogs,
The bodyguards.
Yeah, and they was looking confused. Like, why is he doing this? Like, nigga, you robbed me. Like, you lied to me and said y'all had TLC as a group, and you had TLC signed when they weren't.
That's true.
Like, that's what I'm saying. So that's what we'll start off with him.
By that logic, Friday, I'm gonna throw that out there too.
Yeah,
because he stole from Big Worm.
Yeah,
and then they was mad at Big Worm for retaliating. He like, nigga, you stole my money, so I need it today. If I don't get it, y'all gonna get shot up. So
before we go to Big Worm, Play was the villain in that. Just like he was in House Party 2. Yeah. He took kids' tuition money, the check from the church, okay?
Yeah.
And sat up there and used it and then had to throw it back in kids' place, talking about, you shouldn't have been stupid enough to leave it in the car with me. So plays the villain.
Should have left it around me, like, nigga, what?
House Party 1, he was the villain. And he was the villain of what's it called? It is villain of Classic.
Yeah, because
he got him all that trouble.
I'm saying all he had to do was be like, nah, that's not B, and it would have been over.
It wouldn't be a movie.
Yeah, like, but he wanted to get his grades right.
Duncan Penderhughes. Nigga, I'm Blade Brown.
Sounds like a terrible person.
Yeah, he made man the first one because he sat there and asked Bilal to DJ for free. Showed up late to get him. Then came with a car full of girls. Shoved all that stuff.
Said, I don't have a seat for you.
Tore his equipment up, so shoving it in there.
You guys see House Party.
Oh, yeah,
you guys see that.
Chelsea tore his equipment all up. It's bad.
Okay, so we'll do one that he knows about. Rocky 3. I agree with Clubber Lang. Because he was just a hungry champ. He was just a hungry #1 contender, and they was not trying to get his man a shot.
That's right.
Yeah, like he earned it. Like
I beat everybody. I deserve this title shot.
Yeah.
I was about to ask you in what sense, but you put it that way. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he earned his spot, and he told him, "Hey, give me the shot." He do all that stuff. He beat everybody down, and Rocky was getting spoon-fed these opponents.
And Mickey admitted it. Mickey
told
admitted that he was carrying him.
He's trash opponents.
And he said, "When you'll get my shot, Balboa?" This nigga said, "You'll never get a shot." Like, why? Exactly. Like, I earned it. What you mean I'm never gonna get a shot?
It would be different if he was a dirty fighter or something like that, and he felt like you don't deserve to be in the ring with him. But
he beat him. And he beat him.
He beat him.
He beat that man
convincingly.
Yeah, it wasn't like he cheated when he legit beat him. He came out there hungry.
He put
beat him.
Fear into that man.
He did. Spooked the man so bad his trainer died. Like Clubber Lang is the realest nigga in 2020.
The only thing he did wrong, but is not uncommon, is when he went up there and insulted his wife.
Honestly,
he was trying to get the fight any way he could.
Right. But like I said, it's not uncommon. But that's the way to me where he went too far.
I call it good promotion.
Honestly, if he ain't take it there, he wasn't getting no fight.
He wasn't getting that fight.
If he didn't take it there, he had to.
Rocky said, "You're on." After that mess, he said that. Yep.
No, but hey, woman. First of all, you address my girl like that, we're gonna have problems. Okay?
And he did it on national television.
He did for everybody.
Sure did.
In front of his statue too.
He had to respond.
The next one I got is Jigsaw. I ain't gonna go into it because y'all ain't finished it. Y'all ain't finished the series.
Do I need to get up and walk out while you talk about that portion?
Nah.
No plot.
But y'all know.
It can be explained without spoiling.
Y'all know. That's all I would say. Y'all know. All right. This one right here. Y'all definitely agree with me on this. A thin line between love and hate.
I was gonna bring that one up.
thin line between love and hate. Now, the girl had just got out of a abusive relationship. Didn't she kill him to get out of it?
She killed him. He was psychologically and physically and emotionally abusing her.
And this man Martin stalked her, showed up at her job. What does he do?
First of all, she told him she was fragile. She told him that she just got out of that bad relationship, and please don't play with my heart if you're not serious.
Yeah.
So as she first told him, I have no interest. He pursued her relentlessly, came by her job, embarrassing her in front of her clients, and just wore her down. And the big thing that bothered me is that he told his friends it was his intention to get this girl in the bed. And they said one of the things they said is, "You never say I love you." And what did he tell
First
her?
thing this nigga said, "I love you."
Mm-hmm.
Got her to fall in love, and then he gonna mess around with his old crush again. He talking about, man, why don't you leave me alone? Or something like that. Like, what you mean? You just made me invested in you again. Like, me invested in you when I didn't want to be in a relationship in the first place. I was chilling, I was cool, and then you end up the whole movie. He drove her crazy, and then looked confused at the end when she was retaliating, when she was acting the way she was. Like, nigga, you did this to me.
Well, what made me angry about it was when the scene before they slept together and they were sitting on the couch, and you saw her asking him, "Do you care about me? I care for you. You know, do you really want to be with me? I want to be with you." And then the tears rolled down her face, showing you that she was lowering her defenses right then. And she said, "Do you love me?" And he said, "I love you." And she slept with that man. And the first thing he did was
call his boy immediately after.
Yeah, call his boy. And then she bought all this clothing for him and all this other stuff. He took her limo. Don't forget. He took her limo, picked up his girlfriend. He's supposed to be out there running, she like, take the limo, whatever you got to do. He took the limo, picked up his girlfriend, was riding around town with her. He was garbage.
That's what I said. I was they tried to make someone she was so crazy. She wasn't crazy. Like, he literally, like, well, I would say she was crazy, but he drove her to be like that. That's what I'm saying.
And she let him know that if this happens, I can't go through this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, I felt her on that. Like, I was like, dang, like, he really did her dirty.
He was the villain. I'm blogging about that. I have a new series called Movies That Pissed Me Off, and that's gonna be the first one.
Yeah.
Let me find a woman who buy me expensive clothes. I'm just saying. Why did they mess this shit up?
What was that?
Let me find a woman who buy me expensive clothes. I'm just saying, why did the guys mess this shit up?
Anytime she leave a birthday cake at your front porch with a knife in it, you know she pissed off, okay?
Yeah, she got to go out.
So she was not a villain in any sense of the word. And
that's what I felt like. I was like, he did her dirty.
I think a very common one that people talk about now is Thanos. He has very ideal. Not so much in the comics. But in the movie, they made it seem like he had a very...
okay.
He had an idea, at least.
Now, I'll say this.
He wasn't doing it for bad reasons.
It's iffy with him because I understand you saying you're doing this all for the greater good. Kind of like how Ozymandias was in Watchmen when he pretty much just killed millions in order to save billions, like he said. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
I'd be more willing to say it for him than I would for Thanos, to be honest.
Yeah, I was about to say, but Thanos was like...
He wasn't wrong, but he wasn't 100% right.
Thanos was still a villain. He just he had noble intentions. He was trying to see the greater good. And but he was speaking from experience because he said back on his home world of Titan, he told everybody that nobody listened to him. They labeled him a madman. And what happened? The planet ended up in ruin. So he had a reason for doing it. He's saying what happened with my planet could very, very, very easily happen universally.
But it's like when you go through the steps, his intentions may have been noble, but his solutions to the problems were very ignorant.
Well, like we said he's still a villain. He had noble intentions.
I'm sure there's another way of going about it, but I mean,
but if
he wasn't wrong in his thinking, I feel like.
But if I'm one of those people, one of the 50% that draws a short straw, I don't see that as a solution because I'm like, hey, y'all get to live, I don't. Like, so yeah, I can understand that.
And the common solution that everybody talks about, why not just make more food?
Yeah.
Why not just make more resources?
I agree.
Like, not even, you can pay as much as supply as you want. I'm pretty sure it's
that was a plot hole. That was just a plot hole.
But another one I have, just because it kind of falls in the same line, is Pain from Naruto. I feel like his was better than almost any other villain, because he's basically saying, like, it was to me, this is also another thing. This is more of like the hero the hero isn't so much a hero in my eyes in this one. Because Naruto
you said he is selfish.
Naruto, like that's one thing I'll say. Naruto was really selfish in a lot of things he did. A lot of people don't like. A lot of people see him as a hero because he defended them, but nothing he did was for the betterment of the world. It's for the betterment of the people around him.
Not even that. I wouldn't even go that far. I was gonna say it was just for himself because literally,
a lot of us
Sasuke was labeled a
Class A criminal.
Yeah, Class A criminal. The fact they said when you see this nigga, kill this nigga. That it wasn't even like, you know what I'm saying, oh, you know, bring him in. No, they said kill this nigga. It's to that point.
He was a Class A criminal.
He's a criminal.
And Naruto went through all this trouble to bring him back. And Pain was basically saying, he like, the same thing you're going through. People are killing your people. People are, like, trying to run through your village. He's like, but when it happened to me, I'm trying to bring world peace in this. So the same thing happened to me, and now you're trying to attack me. So what happens when you kill me, just like these people were trying to kill your people? So now that I'm dead, my family, my village is sad.
Because honestly, Pain
so why are you the only one that gets to feel this? It's basically, so I'm like, he was right.
Pain wouldn't exist if the people from Naruto's village didn't kill his people.
I was saying it was his own village that did it too, so that made it even worse. So it's like really, I mean, it's not Naruto's fault that happened, but I mean,
but think about how many people.
In that situation.
But think about how many people died because you wanted to bring your best friend.
That's what I'm saying.
And he wasn't even your best friend for if we're gonna be real. That nigga hated you.
That's what I'm saying. He was your friend, but you weren't his friend.
He thought he could drop me off a cliff like that. He ain't my friend no more.
That nigga's not your friend. That nigga was really a bully, for real.
You gotta tell him, man, I will break every bone in your body just to bring you back. He's not your friend. Like,
exactly. I'm just saying
it's like,
yeah.
Can I throw a retro in there?
Whatever one you want. It's supposed to be just whatever. Like the topic is the villain is right. Remember that.
Walter Peck from Ghostbusters works for the EPA.
Yeah, I agree.
This man now true. They were right because they were trying to stop the ghosts, but he didn't know that, and he didn't have proof. This man works for the Environmental Protection Agency, and these people are using. They're using chemicals and substances that he doesn't know about, that they have to be registered with the state. They have to be reported to the state.
Yeah.
And they were keeping it hush-hush. They were keeping this stuff contained in a reactor. And he went in there, and the first thing he wanted to know is what was going on. And they didn't. In fact, instead of giving information, they were being rude to him. That's enough for the agency to shut them down.
Yeah.
He was right in everything he said. And then he went back in there with the police and said, all right, shut it down. But they made him out to be the villain because they were trying to stop ghosts, and the audience wants the ghosts stopped. But this man was doing everything he was supposed to be doing.
Yeah, he technically wasn't wrong.
In compliance with federal regulations.
Can I throw one in?
Yeah, go ahead, throw one in.
He probably when everybody already got on the list, but Joker from Dark Knight. He was right in the movie. He was right in society in general.
Okay, so you said so. He's saying he was right.
He was a villain. He was fucked up.
Explain why you think he was right though.
Every single point he made throughout that entire movie wound up being right. Honestly, in the very end, like from start to finish.
Right or made sense?
Both, honestly.
Because if it makes sense, it doesn't always make it right.
You got a point. Like, even I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see if some points throughout the movie.
I feel you coming. That's why I want you to explain it because I'm trying to make sure I understand. Because Joker, I feel like Joker was. And he made a lot of good points, but I don't think he was all the way right. Is what I'm saying. That's what I would say for him. I personally.
So he's an understandable villain.
Honestly, the only part I think he was wrong at is when he thought Gotham would turn on each other. As far as like at the end where they were blowing each other up and stuff.
I mean, he did blow up a hospital.
Not him. I'm talking about the ones on the boats. That is fact.
That's what I'm saying. Like
he went all the way right.
No, I feel you on that though. Because the prisoners was in there. They had Debo in there in prison talking about some
But even they proved him wrong. They didn't blow each other up.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I agree with that. But wait, we're gonna be back after these messages.
I'm gonna y'all with a curveball because I was thinking about something random just now. So I'm gonna y'all with a real curveball.
He said they did blow up a hospital.
I'm still
there's more against it than defending.
No, you keep going. We're back on now.
Well, what about the fact that he's been passed over?
What do you mean?
Repeatedly, he wanted to be a Jedi Master.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I missed that part. I'm sorry.
I was saying that the whole fact that he wanted to be a Jedi Master and he was given everything Jedi Masters were given. He got to sit in the council. He did. He didn't get that label. He had a Padawan too. This wasn't in the movies, but he had a Padawan too, and he didn't get none of the same respect that they got.
But it was clear that he was immature.
Yeah,
he got promoted but didn't get a raise. That's what it was. That's how I feel. I feel that again.
I think had they made it clear to him, I think they made it clear to him that you've got a little more maturing to do, and that's not something that anybody wants to hear. But he needs a realistic reason. All he kept hearing was no, you're not ready. No, you're not ready. Let's explain to him why.
He was immature from the jump because, like I said, because in the second one, after he had killed all them Tusken Raiders and he was talking to Padme, and he was like, "It's all Obi-Wan's fault." He's jealous. Like, what did Obi-Wan do? He didn't do nothing to you. Obi-Wan's the only one on your side.
What is he jealous of?
Even in the third one, when they wanted him to spy on the Chancellor, he didn't want to do it, but Obi-Wan was like, I don't want to be the one to give you the responsibility, but he was like, I understand why they're giving it to you because you're closest to him.
Yeah.
He's like, if it was up to me, I wouldn't put you through all this, but this is what they want to entrust you with, and then they will probably make you a master in the future. He's like, but you just need to do this.
Padme had to check him one time in front of everybody. Remember that?
Too. That's it. I'm like, he was wrong in a lot of things he did. Like I said, I can understand why people would say him, but I don't agree with it. But that's just one.
My biggest thing is, if they didn't trust him, why put him over with somebody they know they can't trust? Why not make him a master? Put him on the council where he can be watched, where he can be.
Because you couldn't deny his skills, and they needed him on those missions.
Yeah,
that's the way I saw it.
He was the only one that would be trusted enough by Palpatine because Palpatine wanted him on his side. So he was the only one that could be trusted enough to be close to him.
And then Kenny J.
But he was tempted by it.
I let Kenny J say it. The ultimate reason Anakin turned was when he was going off on Padme and looked up on the ship, and what did he see?
Just like this.
Looking like a condom commercial. He looked like a condom commercial.
He walked in on domestic violence, and he was just standing there like this.
What y'all niggas doing?
Ding-a-ling swinging like, yeah, I just hit that. I went, no.
That's the only time I felt Anakin. I was like, okay, I'm getting into it with.
Explain it for you, but you don't know the scene.
Remember the part when Anakin he just had it. He was killing kids.
Yeah.
He was and he was on that planet. What planet was that?
Before the big fight.
He was on Mustafar. And it was all that fire and stuff. You remember that one?
The fiery planet.
The production planet.
So his wife comes down and she's talking about Anakin, you tripping right now, blah blah. You need to come with me. This next.
I don't know who you are. You're scaring me.
Yeah, you're scaring me.
Honestly.
And then she was low key bringing him in, and then this nigga Obi-Wan opened them doors, and he was standing like this.
Stand up exactly like he was standing. Stand up.
I can stand up. He was on there like.
She didn't bring
Don't stand there like that. I'm sitting there talking to my girl, and I'm already thinking y'all doing some stuff.
I didn't know he thought that them two were messing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, he low key was like he was thinking all over the place.
He was jealous of Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he was thinking all over the place. So when he saw his nigga standing there like this, he was like, nigga, what?
No, but the thing is, she was basically saying Obi-Wan's telling me all these bad things, and then he basically confirmed it. We're gonna get rid of everything and change, and we're gonna be the ones to rule the galaxy. And like,
and
you are this bad.
He had already put Obi-Wan in the category with the rest of the Jedi. He said the Jedi are evil. And then here comes a representative from the Jedi standing there.
But then, like the next sentence, he was like, I don't want to hear anymore about Obi-Wan because she would say Obi-Wan's been telling me all these things. Then immediately she was like, well, I don't trust you anymore because you're doing these bad things. It's like, because of Obi-Wan. Like, nigga, you just told me you didn't want me to bring him up anymore. I'm not talking about Obi-Wan. You are.
Honestly. Obi-Wan, he could have handled that so much better. He could have snuck out the bag.
Don't stand there like that.
Honestly, he got her killed.
No, actually,
she killed herself.
That's the biggest deadbeat in all everything.
He didn't start tripping.
She didn't die. She literally lost the will to live. That's what they said. They said she didn't want to live anymore.
She died of a broken heart.
She had kids and was like, well, that was it.
The blackest family in Star Wars. Got two deadbeats. Got a deadbeat mom and a deadbeat dad.
Hey, I've been trying to tell you, if he had just left that child in slavery, a lot of Star Wars could have been avoided.
That's what they should have did.
Should have left his
They warned this nigga Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon was the biggest. That's another one. That's another one as far as villains and heroes. Heroes versus being villains. He's the biggest
villain in Star Wars.
Qui-Gon is the villain. If people like Qui-Gon, that nigga is the reason all of that stuff happened because he didn't listen. They told him, we cannot train Anakin because Anakin has all this dark side in him. We can sense it. There's much conflict in him. And then he's like, well, I'm going to train him anyway.
He's I'm doing with y'all's help or not.
I got to play devil's advocate. You know, no matter how much you shake up a bottle of water, the water is always going to level itself out. What's to say that if they left him alone, that Palpatine wouldn't have eventually found him? Because he said if they could sense it, I'm sure that man would sense it too.
I mean, maybe, but he was just a slave. Because
honestly, if they got a hold of him...
They found him on chance.
If they got a hold of him as a child, it would have been a lot worse.
Because I'm sure as his natural ability with the force began to manifest itself and people started noticing it, sooner or later the Empire would somehow say, hey, you guys, this kid's a phenom. You might want to check him out. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, maybe But they would have to go and find him just to do it, because that's what happened with
He could win. All he has to do is win a pod race. They'll say that's unnatural because no humans ever won it before. Word's gonna pass. Jabba the Hutt, Jabba right there would have said, hey, what? At some point, if he kept pod racing, he may have done it.
Maybe, but he only won because he had the Force, but he never knew about the Force until Qui-Gon told him.
Right, but look at your girl Rey. She didn't know about the Force, but things came natural for her out of nowhere.
But she was told.
Yeah, but I would like to think that anybody that's got it, at some point you're gonna start feel like the mutants. When it kicks in, you're like, hey, what is this power?
When you know you have it, but if he had never known, if nobody had discovered him.
But didn't he see, like, wasn't he able to see all that stuff, like, as far as like his reflexes and stuff like that before Qui-Gon explained any of that to him?
Qui-Gon and the family knew, but they didn't really know about the Force so much. Qui-Gon explained the Force to them.
That's where I was saying he shows this natural ability, but he doesn't know what. They'll dismiss it as being lucky or just skilled, agile.
Honestly, if they got a hold of them before the Jedi did, because honestly, training with the Jedi probably held him back. If Darkseid got a hold of him from an early start and just let him.
I disagree. Because Maul was in Darkseid his entire life, and he amounted to nothing. Maul died fast.
Maul's not Anakin, though.
I mean, yeah, but still.
He died fast in the movie, but look at his history prior to that.
He was still alive after that, and he died again. Faster.
You got countless Darkseid people just manhandling Jedi.
The fact that Darth Maul hated somebody so bad that he stayed alive and grew tarantula legs, like whatever.
Yeah, but
that's ridiculous.
But the thing is, I can flip it with the same way because Dooku was trained by the Jedi until like the very end, and you saw how cold Dooku was. Dooku was finessing it too. So I said he started as a Jedi. He trained with Yoda and Palpatine. So that's got to be somebody cold.
Stand by the fact that
any other villains?
Washing
I'm trying to think.
The next one I got is King Kong.
This guy. Okay, go ahead. I got a quick one.
It's King. The fact. Okay, so basically they treated King Kong.
Which one?
Everyone.
The story of it.
The
fact that they treated King Kong like they treated black people. They took this nigga from Africa, or wherever he was at.
Skull Island.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know where Skull Island's at. I think it's in Africa. I think technically it's in Africa. But so they took him from there, took him to America, made him put on a show.
They exploited
him. Yeah. And then when this nigga break free, oh look, the nigga's getting loose. It's like it's like dang. And he won't be no slave no more. And then fell in love with his white woman. And then when he took her up to the Empire State Building. Took him to the Empire State Building and shot this nigga. That's how it is. That's how black people was gonna get treated in America.
He tried to sort of find things in life.
Yeah.
Shut down.
They shot him because he was with a white woman. Is that just?
Yep.
Well, because a lot of I'm not making this about race, but a lot of black people got mad because they said he had all these sisters.
He had all the black women.
They said he had all these sisters. And they put a white woman up there and he lost his mind.
They was in there twerking and everything.
It's something he had never seen before.
He saw the white woman and was like, "That's it."
Hey, if we being honest, you can go to that one. You can even go to the new one. They got everything and anything that was coming their way once they just started to mess with him. They deserved it all.
Another one that's a villain. He's not a villain, but he's responsible for everything going wrong. Is Billy from Gremlins?
Yeah.
Well, really, the father.
I don't remember that movie. That's why I can't say.
Well, the thing is, the father went to the Asian man in the shop and wanted to buy the Mogwai, and the man didn't want to sell him. Because he said, there's too much trouble associated with him. But if I remember correctly, the man stole it, snuck the Mogwai out or something like that.
I think he bought me. He told him you can't feed it.
Okay, well he did buy him.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he told him things you can't do. Not true. They should, these things shouldn't have happened. But he never should have taken that thing out of the shop because he said it was too much trouble to have that thing, and he took it over. He wasn't able to handle that Mogwai. Right. Neither was Billy. And it led to all that madness. And what happened at the end? The old man came back, said, I got to come bring him back because y'all acted a fool with this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you put it like that. Yeah, I agree. I ain't seen the movie since I was a little kid, so I can't even
Well, because they got him wet through carelessness. They fed him after midnight because daylight savings time and nobody knew it. That's the other thing. You can't feed him after midnight. Where? In what country? I mean, in what time zone?
I was about to say, that stuff like that throws me off.
Because Arnold Schwarzenegger said it best in End of Days when he said, so you telling me the devil has to come to earth and impregnate this virgin at midnight on the eve of 2000? And he said, is that Eastern time? I busted out laughing at the theater because I was like, he's dead right.
He is right, though. There's another villain I had in mind when you said that. I can't think of
I have another random one. It's not so much he's right, but it's like he's not crazy wrong to me. Was Sid from Toy Story.
What?
He doesn't
You have to explain that.
he
Sid
doesn't
was
know they're
torturing
alive.
toys.
He doesn't know they're alive. Like when you play with toys, I've seen people do some crazy things with toys.
He didn't play with toys. He was torturing them.
He was, but they're
He's
toys.
banging them.
Okay, true.
They're inanimate objects.
You're right. You're exactly right. By English standard, they're toys and they don't have life, and we don't know that they live.
That's like us walking outside and walking on grass, and then you're not really thinking about the grass are living organisms, and you're like, oh, these niggas just stepped on me.
Living organisms.
I said organisms.
You said organisms. I'm gonna play this tape back.
You have been a freak, but that's it.
You said organisms.
No, I said living organisms.
I can't wait to play this back.
But either way,
Shoot out.
yeah, like you don't really think about the fact that you're stepping on something living. So,
Yeah.
But they're not living. Toys are not supposed to be living. So you're thinking about you're playing with
I
toys.
agree.
You're banging them around. You do it because I know
Yo,
you.
he's right. He's right. He's right.
We've all broken toys before.
They did
Like,
that with what you call it. What's the movie with the food?
what's it called Sausage Party.
Yeah, Sausage Party. They did it with that movie too.
The movie's disgusting.
I mean, it's
I
disgusting,
never
but the
saw
point of the movie was they didn't want to be like, they thought if when they go out to the outside world, which is leaving the supermarket, that they were going like kind of like heaven, whatever. Like well, not heaven.
Well, cooked up and ate.
Yeah, they was in there and they started biting up things, and you hear, oh, he just gets tore up. They was lighting him up. He was getting chewed, but it was like, but you don't think about food having lives. That's
Yeah,
what it was.
like you didn't put it in that perspective. That's something what I'm saying with the toys.
So the
Like,
humans were villains in that one.
the toys were retaliating from being tortured. But he doesn't know they're living things. He thinks they're toys,
You're
which they're
exactly
supposed
right.
to be.
But then again, Sid was a sociopath though. That
He
nigga
was
was taking toys and putting them up different bodies, all different stuff like that.
He was
sick.
nuts, but still,
He
I'm
was
like,
sick.
Had a deep problem.
he was on the verge of being a serial killer, yes. But I'm saying in that stage, he didn't know that. He didn't know they were toys.
Didn't
So,
they say that was Sid later in one of the later
The
movies?
third one, he was the garbage man. He still had a shirt with the
I
skull
thought
on
he
it.
was the one.
I don't
Pizza
remember.
Planet.
No. In the third one, they showed up for a quick second when they was taking out the trash, and you saw him. He's like, he was gonna do his little thing, and you saw he had a shirt on, that had a skull on it, and he grabbed the trash, threw it in the thing, and then Tom Pickles. It was a quick scene.
No disrespect to sanitation workers, but they were saying he never made anything out of himself.
Well, he was still acting the same way. He had the same type of skull type shirt on.
I mean,
Yeah.
but I think that was the way of showing that was him, though. I think that was all that
I
was.
don't
But
remember.
by making him a garbage man, that was a way of saying that his life meant nothing. And like I said, no disrespect to the sanitation department.
I don't know what it is.
I don't remember popping the head off my Iron Man toy and sticking it on my sister's arm.
To Iron Man.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, fine. If you did a Wolverine tour, we had to talk.
I did have one of those too.
Did you pop the head off?
No.
Okay. Case in point.
I think
Was
that's-
I think about it. This is a random one too. This is a video game with Tekken. Not so much the villains being heroes, but the heroes being villains. Because wasn't Jin a hero at one point, technically? Like the third one?
Jin's considered a hero.
But he's not a good person. Nobody in that family is. In the Kazama or Mishima, none of them are good people.
I don't think Jin's ever claimed to be a good person though.
But
I
they give him this what's it called?
Well, basically, honestly, the whole story started because the dad was abusing his son to the point where he threw that nigga into a volcano.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he
Basically, he
found the devil in him.
Yeah. He said you got a demon in you. So if I throw you in this and you survive, you got the demon in you.
That's pretty
If
much.
you die.
Pretty much
It's like
the plot.
the witches of Salem.
No, that's pretty much the plot of Little Richard. He had some demon in him. And
No, but I think he went about it wrong. Like I said, if you, he literally said, like basically, I sense this demon in you. So if I throw you in here and you survive it, there is a demon in you.
That's the
But if
Salem
you
witch
don't survive
trials.
it, you die. Yeah, basically Salem witch trials.
yeah, that nigga came back, threw him in the volcano. He gonna sit there. How you gonna throw me in a volcano? Like nigga, you threw me in a volcano.
Man, I was asleep. I was unconscious. Throw me in a volcano.
Army Man is another one.
Army man.
I'll tell you after break.
All right, we're back. Got this break. Yes. And we're back. I said something off break that he's looking like this for. Unpopular opinion, I think Dark Knight Rises is better than Dark Knight. And I will say this: the only thing I had two problems with Dark Knight Rises. This is like I said, each movie had their little problems. With Dark Knight, it was the dumb thing where Joker was like, plot twist, he switched the addresses. Like, no, nigga, it should have been Batman going to one and the cops going to the other. And Dark Knight Rises, I think the only two dumb things happened was when for some reason they sent the whole police force at this nigga Bane.
That was very stupid.
Which is so dumb. Like, you don't send the whole police force, then it's like, oh, now we're all stuck. That's why you don't do it. And then when later on when Batman flew that bomb somewhere else, and he was just like, yeah, I got y'all, and it blew up. and then he was like, somehow he was still living, which should not have happened. That blast radius should have evaporated that man.
Batman.
Now I will say this though, Bane was exposing niggas. That's why I like Bane. Now he was pretty much trying to tell everybody, like, look, y'all trust in this government and this police force. These niggas ain't even keeping it all the way 100 with y'all.
Is he a villain that's right?
He is a villain that's right, because he told y'all it's kind of like Ozymandias, where he was like, look, well, not Ozymandias, I would say Rorschach.
No, he literally pulled out a piece of paper and started literally listing facts.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. I agree with Bane. He's somebody I agree with. He told them, he said, he literally read it off. He said, I made the world believe in a false idol. He said, they took my boy. He said, the Batman.
I was looking at this as I was trying to find a reason to disagree with him, but
I told you, Bane was right. Honestly, and he broke that nigga Batman's back.
They're like right there next to each other. I can't really put one above the other, to be honest.
I went back and rewatched that movie, and I was like, Bane is not wrong in what he's doing.
Yeah, because to be honest, when I watched that specific Batman series, it's the villains who was holding it for me, because I didn't really mess with Christian Bale like that. But
Christian Bale is the one that goes.
I'm sorry, but I can't do it. I hate it.
Christian Bale.
So you were biased. You didn't give Batman a shot.
No. I just didn't. I didn't like Christian Bale. I couldn't stand his Batman voice.
So you were biased.
I couldn't stand his Batman. But
here's the thing though. That wasn't his Batman voice. They added it in later on. He didn't have. That wasn't his Batman voice.
Because it was weird. Because his Batman voice in Batman Begins, that was perfect. I don't know why they messed with it. I don't know why they played with it. How he was talking there, I thought it was fine. I liked it. The Batman that was in Batman Begins is honestly my favorite part of him being Batman. I liked his Batman now.
I just like Christian. Christian Bale, like I said, Christian Bale is in my top 5, top 10, top 5 greatest actors.
Y'all ready for the meanest curveballs? I'm gonna throw you, because I just thought of something random.
Some shit.
Lord Farquaad. I'm y'all random, because Shrek. Oh, have you not seen Shrek?
No, go ahead. I was thinking of.
Okay. Oh, I was going to say.
I was thinking of Harry Potter. I'm sorry.
No, I ain't seen that either. No, Shrek. I mean, Shrek obviously ain't a good person in the first place, but Shrek was he was hired to do a job, and I was to go bring the princess to him.
He was kidnapped. No, he was hijacked. He was hijacked to do a job.
He was convinced because
he sent an entire kingdom over to his.
He did, but that's because they was hovering over his place. He's like, I'm trying to get my place looking right, get looking clean. Y'all got all these nasty niggas hovering around us. So like, I'm send them to this nasty swamp. It just happens to be an ogre that lives there. Then the ogre's like, I don't want the people here either. He's like, all right, I'll get rid of them, but can you just go get the princess for me? And he's like, all right, bet.
He said, I'll do anything to get these niggas off my land.
Then he's supposed to bring the princess to her, and he falls for the princess. And then he's salty because he can't have the princess because he fell in love with her. But nigga, your job was to bring her to me. And now he's salty and trying to break up their wedding. Granted, she didn't want to be a part of it because she's short. But still, like, he didn't really do nothing wrong. He was just, he just wanted a princess so he could be king.
I'm about to say, I mean,
because he wasn't the true king until he had one.
In all honesty, though, Shrek did his job. It's Lord Farquaad's fault he didn't secure the deal. He had a whole 24 hours to do it, too.
But then again, he said he had a whole 24 hours, but Shrek had way longer.
Shrek did have way. He had 30.
And, I mean, Shrek kept true to his word. He left him.
He didn't stick to his word
because he came in there and broke up that wedding.
I object.
He did.
I got two that don't have a lengthy breakdown of them, but they're quick points. Number one is John Malkovich as Douglas in Bird Box. He said,
"Wait, you think he was the villain in that?"
He wasn't the villain. He was seen as the villain because he was don't let a man keep him out there. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is a short point. Yeah. They saw him as a villain because he didn't want to let them in. I would let your boy in. He let your boy in. What happened?
Nigga acted a fool.
Okay.
Look what you over there drawing.
but they portrayed John Malkovich Douglas as being somebody selfish, meaning I'm safe, I got mine, so can't nobody else get in. So he turned out to be right. The other was Man, I had it on. I had it just now and I lost it. I'm gonna have to come back to it.
We're talking about Shrek.
I think it was along the line of Shrek. I'll come back.
What about Wizard of Oz?
That was it. Thank you. That was exactly it. That was the second point. The Great and Powerful Oz.
I was thinking about the original Wizard of Oz.
The Great and Powerful Oz. This woman was in love with Oz. You're talking
about the sequel.
Yeah, she was in love with. She was in love with your boy. He dogged her out, broke her heart, and that was the first time ever you actually saw somebody's heart break on film. I mean, literally watched the transition to where this woman turned green. That explained why she was green. You saw her freak out and transform right in front of the camera, and she became the villain because she got dogged out by this dude. So he was the villain, not her.
Okay, what about the original Wizard of Oz? Now, the Wicked Witch.
What? The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah. I
mean, that's not really a black card.
The Great and Powerful Oz is more of a prequel. But in truth, it's not a true movie because if it was all a dream, then Great and Powerful Oz couldn't have happened.
Yeah, you got a whole
What'd you say, Connie?
Well, we'll say on the original Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy basically killed that witch and took her shoes.
Yeah.
And the sister was trying to, you killed my sister.
Sister wanted her shoes back.
And then she couldn't get to it because I guess the shoes had some type of kryptonite, effect. You couldn't get close to her.
No, the Glinda, the good witch, enchanted those shoes so she couldn't get them.
Right, yeah. So I'm saying
that's some bull, though.
Yeah, she wanted her
sister. You take her shoes.
She wanted her family. She wanted her family property. She did like Martin Luther King. She did like Martin Luther King's family fighting over his stuff. Okay.
They don't get personal. Like, nigga, I'm gonna get the shoes and your dog. Like,
exactly. Tell me what you gonna take it there? Okay, I'm getting you.
You gonna take my sister's shoes if you killed her?
And the thing is, she never said sorry for landing and killing that woman. I killed your sister. Yeah, whatever. Wow.
She said it was
Kansas, nigga.
Honestly, everyone here has seen Bird Box, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It was.
I don't know why, but the irony of them being saved by a blind man, it triggered the hell out of me. I don't know why. It just irritated me.
I think that was more of a pleasant plot twist to show you that the handicapped, the people that normally depend on us, now we depend on them. I think that's a nice twist to it.
Well, they had the advantage of not having to rely on sight.
Exactly.
I'm trying to.
Oh, I got my next one right now. Law-abiding citizen. I 100% agree with that man.
That's what Samuel Jackson.
No. This
Gerard
Butler.
Gerard Butler. Gil Gerard is what's his name?
Remember when Gerard Butler?
I was thinking Lake Terrace for some reason.
No. That nigga was tripping.
Lake
Terrace, he was tripping. No, I'm talking about Gerard Butler. Remember in the beginning?
Leonidas from 300.
I know it is, but I'm just.
Remember in the beginning he was just chilling with his family. Then these robbers came in, broke into his house, beat him up, raped his wife, and I can't remember if he had a daughter too.
Killed his daughter too.
Yeah, he killed the daughter. You never seen this?
No.
You never seen Law-Abiding Citizen? Oh.
Okay, don't tell
Okay, I ain't gonna get into it.
Oh, that happens in the first 15 minutes.
Well, actually, by the trailer, you're describing the trailer,
okay.
So you're not revealing anything.
But it's more graphic. They raped and killed his wife and kid, and he's pretty much in jail. I can get into it.
He didn't get justice.
He didn't get the justice, but I think they gave him like a couple months.
Yeah, the law didn't work for him.
He's like, you know what? I'm about to kill anybody and everybody has something to do with this case. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Like a vigilante type justice.
So
Jimmy Fox is trying to stop him.
So as a result, the movie makes him the villain because he's the one that's masterminded the revenge.
But if all that happened, if all this did happen,
what about that's kind of like.
But he just went too far. He just went too far.
That's kind of Jackie Chan and the Foreigner, right?
No, the Foreigner. He just blew. So they blew the daughter up.
Wow. What?
Yeah, I think they was in a building. They blew up, and then he was like, because he got thrown back from the blast, and then he was like trying to find out who did it, and I think Pierce Brosnan's character had the names. And he just kept calling the niggas, where are the names? Where are the names? That's my movie though. I gotta go back and watch that. I saw it once in theaters, but yeah, that was good too.
Can we throw out one who's supposed to be the good guy but was wrong in every single turn?
Who?
I just want to throw out Raiden because I feel like he deserves to be.
Speak up. Speak up.
Oh, my fault. Raiden from
Mortal Kombat.
In general, just every single one.
He's another one where
he's trash.
He has good intentions. But he just can't get it right. he literally cannot get it right.
Even when it's literally staring him in the face.
That nigga cannot get it right.
every time in history. Like, no matter how many times I rewind history, it's the same thing.
You literally have a keyhole into the future looking at it, and you still find a way.
And you still beefing with Liu Kang every time. And Liu Kang be like, hey, Raiden, we gotta chill. Oh, you ain't listening now. I was like, nigga, every time we fight, this happens. The world dies.
It's your fault.
I got one. Ava from Ant-Man and Wasp. They were trying to find a cure for her. The girl that was a victim of her the experiment.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
They made her the villain. She was just trying to survive.
But that's the one.
Ava, the girl with the powers that was fighting Ant-Man and Wasp.
She kept moving around like.
Hey, no cap. I fell asleep in that minute.
But you remember the girl that was whooping everybody's behind?
She was gonna work.
I saw up to the point where the Wasp and her fought the first time.
Yeah,
she was working. But
she
after that,
she was looking for a cure. She was dying because of an experiment gone wrong that gave her powers. And her and Lawrence Fishburne were both trying to find a way to save her life. So they made her a villain, but she wasn't. Huh? I'm the only one that remembers this.
Ultron. Okay. I don't agree with Ultron.
I heard people say him, but I'm like, I don't.
Ultron was pretty much. I was on the internet for 5 minutes, and I can't take this planet no more. And he's trying to kill everybody. That's literally what the plot of the movie is. He's like, I'm about to kill everybody.
He's literally Tony Stark to the extreme, and then he sees.
I seen Twitter.
Because Ultron was supposed to be pretty much, well, if we aren't here to save the world, we need something to be able to help us. And that's what Ultron was supposed to be. He's supposed to be going around the world saving stuff like that. But, like I said, he went on the internet for 5 minutes and was ready to kill everybody.
Who else was in the villain that had that
Ladies Man
was a victim of Ladies Man?
The movie Ladies Man, the dude with the afro. That's another villain. I agree with the villains.
He was yeah, you're right. The Ladies Man,
when
the people that wanted to kill him, they were considered the villains, but they weren't because he slept with all their wives.
He slept with all their wives, and then
remember.
So he wasn't a villain; they were the villain.
No, they were considered the villain because they were chasing him to kill him.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they was justifiable because he slept with all their wives.
All they saw was an afro of the butt, so that's how they recognized him. It's just an afro of the butt because he always be jumping out somebody's window.
Butt nigga.
They were going through counseling.
You know another villain I agree with?
Very well. Yeah, you like that movie.
You know I like those
I agree
movies.
with Magneto. Yeah, I said it.
Honestly, yeah, I agree with you.
I agree with everything Magneto was talking about.
Explain why, for your viewers.
Professor X is honestly the reason they wound up going extinct in the first place.
Extinct.
Honestly, the beginning of First Class is Professor X's fault. All that falls on his head.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree. Everything Magneto was talking about, and he turned a nigga into a mutant. He turned him into a nigga. He said, "You wanna know what we go through?" He said, "Mutant lives matter, nigga." Turned a nigga into a mutant. Nigga was melting through everything.
Actually, no, but that's a very good point. Where you just said mutant lives matter and giving him a taste of what he was hating. You're spot on with that.
Turn that nigga into a mutant. But he'd be able to do that. Turn Trump into a nigga one good time. He's like, what the?
Come on, waves.
He'd still be orange.
That's what I'm saying.
He'd be burgundy.
Honestly, that might be the best one today so far.
I had one, but I don't agree with it. But people will say this, and I can see why. It's Anakin. I don't believe he was right. Like I said, I don't
either.
But people say because the whole story is how he was pushed away from being a Jedi Master. How he's supposed to be.
I agree with that part.
And how he was did dirty in every single sense of it. I don't agree with him going around killing children at all. But
I'm gonna be the one to defend my boy.
And he was very selfish. But it's because he's very selfish in the fact that he all did that just to save his girl. He turned against the whole Jedi and destroyed everything just to save his wife, which he wasn't supposed to have in the first place. But people say he was right in some senses.
Right. We're gonna be right back after these messages. Yeah, it's a good one.
I didn't mean to say Army Man. I meant to say toy soldiers.
What's toy soldiers?
What's not toys? What's
small soldiers?
Small soldiers. Thank you.
I was like,
thank you. Because the what were they, Gargonauts or something like that? They were supposed to be the villains. They turned, and the soldiers, the American soldiers were actually the villains.
They are innocent.
Yeah. So that was your little plot twist of the movie.
I had that Archer toy too.
Did we talk about Ferris Bueller's Day Out with the principal?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Principal and Ferris Bueller's Day Out. Ferris Bueller's Day Out?
Day off.
Yeah, Day Off. He was doing his job.
That's fair.
He was doing his job.
Same with Juice. They made it seem like the cops are bad people for trying to catch him. Like, they're doing their job. Y'all skipping school.
Yeah.
And the truancy officer.
Oh, I think
But they made the principal in Ferris Bueller the villain.
Yeah.
You know, because
he probably was going overboard. He was showing up at people's house and stuff like that. I think he was trying to prove. You know what I mean?
Going in their house, he went overboard. He really did. He wasn't supposed to. You're not supposed to go to somebody's house. That's breaking and entering.
Right. You just call the parents or something.
We're gonna end it right there. Keep talking.
I was gonna say one more.
Oh, you got one more?
I had one. I was saying Menace to Society.
Who's the villain?
You think of a hero?
No, the villains too, because technically the villains were the ones that went in and killed him at the end. But really,
because they killed him from getting the sister pregnant or the cousin pregnant and not trying to raise it.
Yeah, because he came into that girl's life. He parked behind her so she couldn't leave, and basically harassed her until he got her number. Then he got her number, messed around with her, and then she was like, "I'm pregnant." He's like, "Well, can't be mine." She's like, "You're the only one I've been with." He's like, "Well, it wasn't me. I've had to give you all the extra time." That doesn't mean that you're I'm pregnant. It's you. He's like, "Well, it ain't me." And he hung up, and then he's like, then she calls her cousin to defend her. And then he's like, "All right, man, I heard you got my cousin pregnant. You're not trying to be like..."
They beat this nigga up.
Yeah, and then they just jumped him. Like, that didn't help. So, and then when they come back and kill him in the end, it's like we're supposed to feel sorry for him. But why would you feel sorry for him if he didn't, like, do anything good? He jumped a man that was trying to defend his own family. And I mean, but the heroes were bad people in that too, but that's just like the whole thing.
Just pieces of trash.
I'm saying. All them hoopers are dang near.
Keep it up.